Hello everyone! Estamos aqui para mais um Gladly Receives. Ai, a família Fortuna já entrou até. Ai, que lindos! Oi, meninas!
Fala oi.
Hi.
Hi! O Elvis se empolga. Elvis, agora eu tô falando lá, não é com você, cara. Toda vez que eu começo uma live, o Elvis entra, o Elvis se empolga, que ele me ouve falando, ele vem aqui falar com todo mundo.
Eu acho que você devia promover uma live para o Elvis com a Pérola e a Vicky.
Ah, iria ser lindo, né?
Super organizado.
Super organizado, ia dar super certo. Elvis, Elvis, a gente tá ao vivo, cara. Não, eu não vou lá brincar com você agora. Ele tá me mordendo pelo meu braço, pedindo para eu ir lá brincar com ele. Fernanda Marinho já está nos assistindo. A Fê Navarro. Jane X there.
Beijinho, Fê. Já mandou um beijo pra Jane, vocês?
Hi, Jane.
Boys, you are so big. Oh my goodness.
Thanks.
First question. A Fernanda tá pedindo para chamar vocês porque vocês dois estão aí, ela não tá nem reconhecendo.
Vocês dois?
So, Dudu and Gui, show your
Vai um
face.
pouquinho pra lá.
Então, who is Gui?
Me.
And Dudu?
Yuhu!
Dudu, how old are you?
I'm 14.
14.
Yeah, next year I will go. I will be 15.
Perfect, 15. And Gui, how old are you?
I'm 19.
19.
Yes. November 6th was my birthday.
When was it?
November 6th.
It was already your birthday. My goodness, happy birthday! I told
Thank you.
Vai mais pra lá que eu já vou.
I told Fernanda today that I said, oh, Guy's turning 19 now in November. It's his birthday, but I didn't realize that it has already passed. Guy, happy delayed birthday.
Thank you.
Compadre, como que a gente fala compadre em inglês?
I've seen that comadre is bedspan.
Yeah, because in Spanish they also have compadre and comadres, though. So a lot of people call each other compadre and comadre because of Spanish, but in English they only have godmother, godfather. They don't have a word for compadre. They only have like padrinho, madrinha, but like, and even if they have like compadre. Compadre é uma coisa, compadre é outra, né?
É outro nível.
There are things that we only have in Portuguese. I'm sorry, but there is no way to say compadre and comadre in English. That's for sure, right?
Sure.
Comadre, mostra a sua camiseta. Let me show your t-shirt.
Peraí, vou fazer uma troca aqui. Família grande não cabe no sofá.
Oh,
Here.
let me see. My cousin Denise is there. Ai, que linda. That t-shirt, everybody, is Grupo Aurora's t-shirt. Okay? Who else? My cousin Reinaldo Milito is there. Jane, she says, may the force be with you. Francisco.
Amen.
Francisco is a student. He's always here at the lives watching us. Hello, Francisco. Patti Danzieri, she was my student and now she's my friend. She's also there saying hello. And Malu is also there watching us with Vivian. And Jane, she said, saudades. So we have some people that are coming, they're going to watch us, and we're going to talk about, among other things, Grupo Aurora. So I invited my compadre and my comadre, Elaine, to talk about Grupo Aurora, because they are some of the founders of Grupo Aurora. Né? Eles ajudaram a fundar o Grupo Aurora. So, Comadre, explain to us what is Grupo Aurora.
Yeah, it's a group of friends. All of us are friends that we started like I believe just after 2000, 2002 or 2003, something like this. As a group of friends that wanted to help people that had some social needs.
Okay.
The first one was Osana Nunes.
Osana
She
Nunes.
she was the
Okay.
first one. She's
She
a
was-
therapist,
Okay.
and she's a friend of us.
Okay.
And then she used to do these things before us.
Oh, she used to do that before
Yeah.
Grupo Aurora. Okay.
Yeah. And then she, how can I say, she's a kind of gardener, and we are the seeds. And
Okay.
she started to say,
She started to plant some seeds.
yeah,
Like you are the garden, actually. She planted the seeds on you, and you
Yeah.
flowered. You flourished. Ok. Né? Então, a Elaine está falando, né? A Osana foi quem plantou a semente, né? Neles, eles eram um jardim, na realidade. E a Osana plantou essa semente do trabalho voluntário, de ajudar o outro neles, né? A Osana é uma amiga deles, uma amiga nossa, que também é do Grupo Aurora, que na realidade foi quem realmente começou o Grupo Aurora. E antes de começar o Grupo Aurora, a Osana já fazia o trabalho voluntário e ela plantou essa sementinha neles, que floresceu, e hoje a gente tem o Grupo Aurora aí, que já faz aí quase 15 anos, mais ou menos, né? About 15 years we've been working. We have been more active. Now we kind of spread a little bit, but everybody's still doing their a little bit how we can, always doing something, always involved in something, and always trying to bring people to get involved with us. So Grupo Aurora is not a formal organization, is not an NGO. What are the advantages and what are the disadvantages, in your opinion, of course, of being an NGO or of not being an NGO?
Yeah, when we start to deal with money donations to help these people, so we had some places where we helped them to do some kind of constructions in shelter places for children, for instance. Then we start dealing with money. It would be important to help to be some more formal, have a formal institution, because then you start receiving money from others, using this money. So if you're not formal, you have to use somebody's accounts to receive and to deal with this money. But the point is, the disadvantage of being formal, or the requirements of being formal, is that so you need to know the rules and the laws, and so all this bureaucracy is a tough part. So we manage to work around this, still being informal till now.
Very good, very good. And what was the first project under the name Grupo Aurora? Do you remember? I remember the first project that I was part of, but I'm not sure if that was the first Grupo Aurora project.
The first one I remembered was the one at a shelter in...
It's in Embu das Artes.
Embu das Artes.
Okay.
Called SECA, né? Centro
Educacional para Criança e Adolescente.
Cool.
There I met Janie for the first time.
Oh, okay.
It was there. And we were a kind of a bridge from people who have leftovers of some construction.
Okay.
And then we got that leftovers and we managed to build up a library there, né? A library and a laundry.
Mm-hmm.
And it was before Guy.
Before Guy. Okay.
So,
okay.
It was the first one I remember. I don't know.
Yeah.
So it was way before me. So you
Yeah.
guys are telling me that you lived without me for all this time?
Yeah, it was tough, but it was.
We managed.
You managed. Okay. And so you, compadre, you work at IBM. IBM is a company that's really involved in voluntary work too, isn't it? I remember that every year, every time you guys have the IBM group doing work and helping Grupo Aurora and helping other institutions. Is this an institutional thing, like an IBM thing, or is it just like the people, or is that just a coincidence that all these people work for IBM? Like, does IBM have anything to do with all this voluntary work that happened with the people from IBM, or it just like people that get together and say, okay, let's go and do it?
Yeah, it is more. No, it was not something formal from IBM. In relation to Grupo Aurora, the culture of the company is very inclusive. So so as we work every day there with people that has some common beliefs in terms of inclusion and helping each other, so we joined to do this social work, but it was not something formal related to IBM.
Okay. Yeah, actually, a friend called another friend and called another friend. So then this is the small groups from IBM, from the street, from the neighborhood.
Yeah.
Then they get together.
Okay. It's like a chain work. Very good.
Yeah.
And what are other projects that are carried by Grupo Aurora? What are, give us some examples of voluntary work that Grupo Aurora has done.
Caruaru.
Yeah, one that was, and you also, we were pretty much engaged is at Pernambuco, at the city of Caruaru. So there we are helping a neighborhood, let's say, it's a countryside neighborhood that's very poor, and they have the main difficulties they had there was the lack of water, because it didn't rain for some years. Now I know it started raining again like 2 years ago, but they had many years with a serious drought. And we helped them to, how do you call it? Well, yes.
To drill a well.
Yes, to
drill a well. Furar poço. So
yeah.
We help them drill a well, so they could have.
Yeah, but in order to get money enough to drill this well, so we had lots of parties and dinners and lunch with the She family, with Fernanda Navarro, with all these people who are connected to get some money.
Lots of yard sales, like to raise money. So how long did you guys, or I'm saying you as if I'm not part of it, because I'm talking to you guys, but I'm very much part of it. So how long did it take all this organization and all these projects in order to raise the money and get the well drilled?
7 years.
7 years. Okay. So during 7 years, there was this small work that we would raise money and get people together and get involved. And Sergio, every year or every other year, would go to this village that is in the outskirts of Caruaru. For those who don't know, in order to get to this village, we have to get a plane to Recife. Then we drive. When I say we, I mean Sergio. It's like 2 hours driving to get to Caruaru. And then we stay at a friend's house. And then we have to drive for another about half an hour. We get like a road, and then we get through this dirt road to get to the village that's in the outskirts of Caruaru. And what do they have there? What is like the main thing in this village that bring everybody together?
Yeah, it's so they have two very important things. So there is a next nun
a former nun.
A former nun, yes, yes.
Ex-freira.
Yes. She left the church institution because she wanted to help this community and live there, and she was not allowed by the superior.
The church that she was part of.
Yeah. So she lives there for many decades, and we, from one of the persons that was participating in Grupo Aurora, we came to know this woman, this wonderful woman
Called Nazaré.
called Sister Nazaré. We still call her sister, yes. And she's very linked to this place because of the children. So they have a public school, kind of in the center of this village, and with around 100 children studying at the school. And that is the link. That is the main link. We go there to help these children. That is the main object for us, to help them believe that is, so that they can dream. They can dream and they can be whatever they want. And water was something they needed for this.
True. But every year you used to go there and to to hold a party.
Yes.
To hold a part. Yeah, to hold a part. So all these friends spread in São Paulo. Now you are in Santos. We are here in Brasília. Then we are all our efforts to bring them toys, school suppliers, what else? Filtros.
School supplies and
filtros. The beginning, I don't know how to say.
Yeah, water filters.
Yes, water filter.
Yes.
And like the least that they might need to survive, at least decently. So Tamara Barricelli is here. Hello, Tamara. Fe Marinho said she's proud to be part of this group. And Dani Faccio sent a Kumadi, Elaine, you were among the first people from Grupo Aurora that went to Caruaru. Do you remember your feeling when you got there?
The first time I went there, it was Jane, me, and Alexandra, né? She presented Irmã Nazaré to us. My feelings were, that's almost unbelievable that there is a place where people live without water, drinkable water. That was the strongest one.
Elaine was the first one, one of the first ones to go to Caruaru, to go to Caldeirão, is actually the name of the village. And right after they went there, Jane is the one that was talking to me here last week, for the people that are here watching, so they can relate. Jane is also part of Grupo Aurora. And Lek, she's not here, but yesterday I think was her birthday, so if you see that, Lek, happy birthday. And right after, after a few months, we did the first Christmas there. Jane said that for her it was shocking. Dona Xi também foi, não foi?
Yeah, she went. Not this first time, I believe.
Okay.
The first time I went there, I believe it was the second trip. Okay. We went there. I went, and Jane and her mother were. Dona Xi was with us.
Very good. So, and it's something that to me it was very meaningful and very interesting. You said that it took us 7 years to build the well. So I have to correct you, because it took us 8 years to build the well. And I know that because it was very meaningful. that the kids that were in the last grade, the last year of school, the last time you went there for Christmas, were the kids that were in the first year of school when you went there the first time. So if any one of you is interested, you can go to the Grupo Aurora pages and you can find the pictures. And it's so nice to see the kids that were so little in the first picture, and they were so so shy and so, you know, you see, they didn't know us. They felt compelled by us, and then you see them at the last year, you know, they were big, they were grown-ups, and they were dreaming about what was going to happen to them after they left school. So in a way, we were able to follow them during a whole cycle, and that's how I know it was 8 years, because we were able to accompany them, you know, during this process. To me, it was very meaningful, and I was very glad, very happy to be part of it. One thing that I think it's really cool about Grupo Aurora is everybody can help somehow with whatever they have. So if you, I never had the financial means to go and to travel, but I always had the time, because I'm always able to talk to my students and say, hey, listen, I'm going to be away for a week to help in this project. And never, ever a student came to me and said, no, I paid you for the whole month. I want classes every day, you know? So, and then we had people that were able to provide me with a ticket and help me go. And so this is the Grupo Aurora. Everybody helps the way they can. So it's a very wonderful thing. It's a beautiful thing. And if anyone who's watching is curious and want to know and learn about it, you can look into our Facebook page, you can look into our Instagram profile, and all the details for you to get into this is down here in the video. There is the description, and in the video you can find all this information. It's really, really interesting. So the other thing that I was going to ask about Grupo Aurora is exactly like that. How can people help? If there is anyone watching right now and would like to help and would like to join Grupo Aurora, we are not a closed group. Anyone is part of it. Actually, we are very welcoming. If you help us once, you're already Grupo Aurora.
You think about us, you are already Grupo Aurora.
Yes, you are already Grupo Aurora. So we have done that to many people before. Before you blink, you're already Grupo Aurora. So how can people help?
Yeah, as you mentioned, in any way that, so the person, if the person has available time, if the person, so we usually are helping people that have some social demands. So in many instances, it is like a children's shelter or old people shelter.
Shelterless
people, yeah, that need some food or something in the streets. So it involves time, it involves helping to collect money, it involves maybe producing some kind of product to be sold to get this money. So there are lots of ways to help, and just look for us, and we'll manage to engage you.
Yes, there is always something we can do. Yesterday I was teaching, not yesterday, today, this morning, I was teaching a student, and it's very interesting how things work. I was teaching a student, and we were using a book that uses the TED Talks to teach. And she's at a level, and you were watching a video, a TED Talk video that talks about a guy, he's a firefighter, and he says exactly that. There is no good deeds, nothing that you do that is too big or too small. Everything matters. And it's really interesting, because he says at some point during his lecture, he says, don't wait until you make your first million. Don't wait. Do it now. Get involved now. It doesn't matter if you go serve food at a soup kitchen, which is something that we have already done. We have made food and given to the people, to the homeless people. It doesn't matter if you are going to clean up a place like a public place. Whatever you do, just go and do. There is no. He tells the story that the first time he went to fight a fire, his colleague was called to rescue a dog, and his captain came and called him, and he was like so hopeful. And the captain told him, "Okay, I need you to go there and go get some shoes for the lady, the owner of the house, because she's barefoot." And he was like, "Oh my goodness, he's gonna save the dog and I'm going to get the shoes." And then after a while, the lady thanked the firefighters for saving her house, for saving her dog, and she mentioned, and someone even had the time, had the decency, the sweetness to go and get me some shoes in the middle of a chaos. Someone remembered that I needed shoes. And this is very much what Grupo Aurora is. There is no details that go unnoticed. And everything matters. If you have one pair of shoes to donate, I'm sure we will find someone who needs that pair of shoes, and this person will be grateful for a long time. And this is really interesting. Everybody's welcome. The boys,
Yeah.
and
if you have only one shoe to give, there are people who have only one
needs that. Exactly. If you have only one foot out of your shoe, I'm sure we will find someone who has another one, and we will find someone who can make very good usage of it. And the boys were always involved in it too. I don't know if they remember. Gui, Dudu, do you guys remember when we used to have the garage sales, when we used to take the toys to the kids that lived on the streets? Do you remember that?
Yes.
Well, I remember only the garage sales and in favela in some place in São Paulo. Yeah.
Yeah.
And to give food on the street, do you remember?
A little bit.
A little bit? How about you, Gui? Do you remember?
Yes, in the Caruaru.
Oh, Caruaru.
Yeah, because the first one we packaged lots of stuff in our house.
Yes.
That's Christmas.
The house used to be full of boxes and everything, and they always helped. And I remember very clearly Dudu helping us sell the stuff during the garage sales. Dudu and Giovanna, who is my daughter, they were always trying to show things to people. Look how interesting this is, and they would sell everything, and they would also buy a lot of things. They were very good consumers of Grupo Aurora, because don't fool yourselves. When the kids wanted something, they had to pay for it. They never just took it. They either had to give money from their allowance, or they had to exchange something. You want a toy, so you go and you get one of your toys and you give it to Grupo Aurora, because that's how it works. Very good. Very good. One other thing that I wanted to talk to you guys about, that I'm a big fan of the family, of course. I am very grateful that our paths crossed, and they will never uncross anymore, because you guys are my daughter's godparents, is about adoption. So Gui and Dudu were adopted. Although eu tenho as minhas dúvidas de que o Gui foi realmente adotado, porque a cada dia ele é mais a cara da Elaine. É incrível. So I have my doubts. I think we still have to check this story, very well. We got to recount these ballots, because there is something wrong. There is something fishy in this story.
Exactly.
How old were you when you were adopted?
I think so.
One and a half.
1.5.
1.5. Very good. And how do you feel about it? I mean, for you, it's normal. You have always been adopted. You don't but do you have any special feelings about it?
I feel privileged because this action changed my future. And for me, in begin is not too comfortable in the beginning, but now it's okay.
It is.
I'm,
Have you
yes.
ever been bullied for being adopted?
No, never
No?
one. No, yes, no.
Cool.
And normally he doesn't speak too much about it.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Elaine and Sergio, do you think they were the lucky ones, or do you think you were the lucky ones?
Yeah, we were. We want to be.
We are.
Yeah.
We are, exactly.
Yeah, we wanted to be parents, and for us, this concept of adopted child or not adopted child doesn't make any sense. So it's only the process. After the process, then you have a son or a daughter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't make any difference.
Yeah, if it's natural, if it's C-section, or if it's adopted.
Exactly.
It's the same.
Exactly. Very good. And in your opinion, what's the biggest difficulty in adopting a child here in Brazil? Because a lot of people talk about it. And I know you have helped a lot of people during this process.
Yeah, bureaucracy. You have many papers. Normally it takes many years till the day you are considered what? Skilled? No, how do you say that? Apt.
Able or
able to adopt it till the day this child arrives.
Okay.
And there is a lack. There is a huge lack between the things because people who want to adopt normally they wanted babies, white babes, girls' white babes, and it's not our reality. On the other hand, when you have the shelters where these children live, they are not available to be adopted in many times. They are just sheltered there. You see? And how do you say o órgão que cuida
justice.
The justice who is responsible for these children, it is responsible for all the children. So the children on the street, the children, addicted children, all of it. So, and which is the most important or the most urgent? The ones who are in the street or the ones who are in the shelter. So, and that's this conflict between the three. Yeah.
And in the US, there is a foster parenting program. You know, here in Brazil, we don't talk about it. But I know you have fostered kids, sometimes not for a long time, even for the weekend. You were always open to receive kids in your house just for a period of time. And if they couldn't be adopted, you would know that at least you've done something. You had the privilege of helping them in a way you could. Okay, so do you have any idea, like, why don't we have more fostering here in Brazil? Do you think that's a good thing? Because sometimes we do see a lot of people that talk about foster parents in a good way, but we also see a lot of people talking about foster parents in a horrible way, that we have people that are foster parents just for the money, just for, not really trying to help anyone. In our opinion, what could make it easier to have more foster families and to help people adopt more and to have more children adopted? Because we do have lots of parents that want children, and we have lots of children that want parents. How do you think we could help? Do you think there is anything we could do to help unite these children and this family in a better way, in an easier way?
I'm not sure. The point is, so when we did our process, one of the main challenges that took it much longer usually was the lack of an IT system from this division of the justice that take care of children or children with problems. Because usually in the places where there are children available, so usually poor places where the families cannot take care of their children, they let them for being adopted. Usually these places are not the same ones where there are people that want to adopt children. Families usually with some better condition, economic condition. So if you don't have a systems to manage the interest in adopting and the children available to adopt that are in different places, it's hard to match. So after many years, these systems, and I understand now it exists, is a national system. I believe it helps a lot. The problem is, and we hear this almost every day on TV news and other news, our justice, all the systems that are designed in our justice takes so long, because you have 3 or 4 levels sometimes. So when somebody, let's say the bottom of the system, decides that a child should be taken off the family, somebody can go to the second level and argue about this and to discuss if this would be or not. So recursos, I don't know how to say it in English. So there are all these systems. When you apply this to this adoption process, there is a legal process. So all this delay is terrible, and I believe it is in the core of our legal system, and it affects all the divisions of legal system. So criminals, and we see this every day. But when you take to adopt, you're talking about children's lives, and the impact is terrible. So because when you have children after, let's say, 3 or 4 years old, it's much more difficult to get somebody to adopt a child, and many times this child was in a shelter since months, since when she was born. So that's the impact. So, but I don't know how to change all our justice systems.
But I know you guys have helped a lot of people to find a child and to adopt.
Almost 15 years ago, Yara, the system was a little different. So they have what we call adoção consensual. So the biological mother could give the child to a person, and this person go to the justice and solve the adoption bureaucracy. I think it's 14, more or less, because Dudu is almost 15, so I think it's about 13 years. From 13 years now, you cannot do this anymore.
Oh, really?
Because there is what they call fila única.
Okay.
So they put all these children in the system, and all the people who are able to adopt in the system, and they are supposed to make this match.
Okay.
Unfortunately, it's Brazil. So
it doesn't really work as it's supposed to work.
Yeah,
as usual.
When we helped these families in the past, what happened? We helped with information. Since the pregnant women. Then we say, okay, you can donate your child, but you don't should abandon this child.
Mm-hmm.
You see? And for the families who wanted to adopt it, so go to the justice, fill up the papers, and then you have to pass through an interview with a social assistant, with a psychologist, sometimes with the judge, and then you are able to. When you have these two things, so when you use it to help, when a mother decided to donate this child, and we knew about that, so we called a person who was able to, and this person
had already the paperwork all done.
And then he got the child and go to the justice to do everything by law.
Very good. Very
now different.
And Dudu, how old were you when you were adopted?
3 days.
3 days.
You were 3 days old?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. I think when I met you, you were what? About 3 months old or something.
I have only the head.
You were a head only. No, you are so no. Your birthday is in February, right?
January.
So and
31st.
Yeah, 31st.
We met, Elaine, I think it was about March or April. So yeah, Dudu was like 3-4 months old.
Yeah.
When we first met. I remember. You were not just a head. You were
and had cheeks.
Yes. Cheeks.
Big eye.
Yeah. I was Momo.
Dudu is just too much. And Dudu, how is your life there in Brasilia?
Well, it's good, né? So I have my family, I have my friends, I have a good school, I have food, I have water, so it's good. I do sports. So.
You do sports? What kind of sports do you do?
I swim like my brother.
You swim like your brother. Very good. And do you like swimming?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to be
very
shaped,
convincing.
So.
But what's your biggest passion?
It's a lot of things.
A lot of things? For example?
I don't know.
Music.
Yeah, music. Like
music.
Celular.
General arts.
General arts. Okay.
Computer games.
And science of computer science.
Well, you got the computer science from your dad, obviously.
Yeah.
And the artistic side came from your mother, obviously.
Yeah.
Although Elaine's taste for music is a little doubtful.
Why?
Porque a Elaine gosta de música sertaneja, né?
Yeah.
É a nossa única briga.
But I like classical music too.
No, mother. No.
I like opera.
But
I like Les Mis.
Tá bom. Yeah, just the música sertaneja, that's a little doubtful. And Guy is also very artistic, aren't you, Guy?
Yes.
Tell us about your artistic side.
I do jewels.
You do what? I'm sorry?
Jewelry.
Jewelry, okay. Jewels.
Yeah.
By the way, I'm still waiting for my... I asked, like many years ago, for a whale tail. I don't even remember if it was supposed to be earring or ring or pendant, something. I asked you to make me a whale tail, rabo de baleia. Faz anos que eu pedi rabo de baleia. Quando você começou a trabalhar com isso, com a prataria, porque eu quero rabo de baleia de prata It's been years. I still don't
Got it.
have my whale tail. So I'm here
Was this
right
stress?
now telling everybody so everybody can see it that I'm here waiting for my whale tail. So
It's
you
registered.
Okay.
Okay.
so you make jewelry, what else?
Uh,
Drawing.
origami,
Origami,
uh,
Drawings.
drawings,
drawings. Your drawings are beautiful.
marcenaria. I
Não,
don't.
mas faz tempo.
Yes, this is in the past. Now
Carpentry.
I just drawing
And swim.
and swim a lot.
Swimming a lot.
Swimming is my favorite thing.
Is your
Swimming
favorite
and
thing.
sleep is my.
Swimming and sleep.
Swimming and sleeping. Did you get any of those technological things from your dad too?
No, I don't know how to digitar.
You don't know how to type.
Yeah,
I'm like my
All
mother.
in the cell phone.
yeah.
Okay.
This very old, ancient concept of dactylography. I don't know what to call it.
Ele entendi. O Gui ainda tá fazendo curso de datilografia. Entendi.
Yeah.
Guys, if you guys were watching, you want to ask anything to Sérgio, Elaine, Du, Gui.
Yara, there are two groups. One in São Paulo called Projeto Acolher.
Uh-huh.
If someone is interested, so you go to the page. They have mensual meetings to
They have
explain
what? I'm
about
sorry, I couldn't hear it.
Monthly meetings.
monthly meetings.
Monthly meetings, okay. Projeto
And-
Acolher.
Acolher in São Paulo.
What do they do?
They organize these meetings to explain, to solve some doubts, to change experiences, these things about adoption.
About adoption, okay.
About adoption.
Uh-huh.
And here in Brasília, it's aconchego.
Aconchego.
It's the same thing.
Oh, okay. So, guys, if anyone wants to learn more about adoption, things about adopting a child, you can look for Projeto Acolher em São
Acolher,
Paulo or
São Paulo.
Projeto Aconchego em
In
Brasília.
Brasília.
Or
You can
look-
call me also.
I'm sorry?
I am available for that too.
Okay, and you can also talk to Elaine about it. And you can always get in touch with us through Grupo Aurora, either on Facebook or Instagram, if you want to help in any way. And something that's very important, a lot of people come to me and say, I would like to help, but I don't know how. This is something that is also very interesting about Grupo Aurora. What's really, really important is that you want to help. So if you want to help and you don't know how, you get in touch with us, and I'm sure we'll find a way for you to help. Now, during the pandemics, for example, we had a lot of people involved in making masks and donating masks. So I had people who donated the fabric. I had people who donated the rubber band, the elastic. I had
Yeah.
people who cut the mask. I had a person who helped me she said, listen, I can't sew. I don't know how to make the masks, but if you teach me and you give me the fabric, I can cut it for you. So I gave this person, I think, 3 meters of fabric, and this woman cut over 80 pieces of masks that I donated to to one of Janie's friends, and she made the masks, and we got these masks to Padre Júlio Lancelotti's project. Here in Santos too, I have donated from just especially in the beginning, and people weren't really talking about it, and we couldn't find masks everywhere. I donated a lot to the delivery guys, that they would come to bring me food or to bring me my shopping, and then I would ask them, do you guys need masks? They would just say, yes. Do you want masks? Yes, please, I need it and I can't find it. So and I made the masks out of fabric that people donated to me. And then so if what you have is time, we will find something for you to do with your time to donate. If you don't have time, but you have like some physical things, some material, you have clothes, you have food, you have toys, anything there, and you want to donate, books, exactly, you come and we will give it. Like I did for quite a while here in Santos. Now because of the pandemics, I'm not doing it anymore because I live in Santos at one end of the island. Santos is an island, and most of these institutions, they are like about 40 minutes, 50 minutes from where I live. And for Santos, guys, 40 minutes driving, it's like, whoa, it's, when you think about São Paulo, 40 minutes is right there. Santos is, you need to cross the whole island. You need to go all up the hill and down the hill. It's so people don't go. So what I did for a long time here, and I would ask my friends, is every time you go to the supermarket, just buy an extra package of whatever. An extra package of rice, an extra package of pasta, an extra can of sweet corn, an extra box of milk, and just give it to me. One, that's what I tell people. One extra package of rice in your shopping cart, that when you go to the supermarket, it's not going to make that much of a difference to you. And I know you're not going to drive 40, 50 minutes to bring one bag of rice to this institution. So I used to take, a lot of friends of mine used to come and give me one bag of rice, one bag of pasta, one thing this, and the other one said, oh, I have like only 2 shirts to donate. Will that help? Yes, give me 2 shirts. Oh, I have these things, but it's only the... yes. And then I would leave everything inside my car. And then when my trunk was full, I would make a trip to these institutions, and I would bring to the institution. So everybody has something to do. And if you don't have anything to give, you don't have time, you don't have anything to donate, but you have money, you can help with money. If you have miles for your airplane mileage, you can give it to us because we can find someone to fly somewhere and help someone somehow. So there is always something that we can do. There is always something that somehow, some way to get involved. And that's what Grupo Aurora does. One thing that I love about Grupo Aurora and about not being an institution, not being a formal organization, is exactly that, is the sense of friendship that we have in everybody, is how we trust each other and how we are able to show people that they can trust. They can, trust us, and they can trust Grupo Aurora. So every time we ask for money, I always have someone saying, yeah, but this is not an institution. I'm not going to, are you sure? Do you know this Sérgio Fortuna, que é o dono da conta? I said, yes, I know him really well. He's my daughter's godfather, é meu compadre. Posso depositar, não tem problema. Não vai fugir, não vai fugir. Pode. Pode. Então, this is something that's nice. Every little penny that has come into Grupo Aurora's through donation, they have come out of goodwill and for a very good reason, and they have been used very well. I can guarantee you, I can give my word, and meus compadres estão aqui mostrando a cara, né? Os Dudu, o Gui também, que sempre ajudaram, são fundamentais. Jane Shi is saying gratitude. Malu está dizendo que o Dudu e o Gui são um saco. Não, brincadeira. Ela está dizendo que eles são muito especiais e que eles são fundamentais em nossa família, que eles nasceram para nós. But I love teasing them. And Jane X saying, eu quero, ela quer porque ela quer ver vocês aqui de novo, ela quer ser parte do Grupo Aurora. Jane X é Grupo Aurora, mais do que todos nós, como todos nós, né? Então é isso. Gente, se alguém tiver alguma pergunta que quiser fazer para a Elaine, para o Sérgio, para o Gui, para o Dudu, para mim, vai mandando aí as perguntas, tá? Para eu mandar para eles. Se quiserem mandar algum recado para eles, pode mandar. Então, se ninguém tiver nada para falar, ó, Jane X saying, such nice talk with you all. So, Jane X, we also miss you a lot.
Eu não posso xingar a Jane porque a gente tá ao vivo, entendeu?
Não pode.
Não posso.
Então, depois que a gente desligar, a gente pode falar mal da Jane. Agora não pode, né? So I thank you very much, everybody who's here, everybody who's been with us. So just before we leave, I have a few announcements, a few messages to give to everyone, and including to you, compadre, comadre, do Gui. The day after tomorrow, on Thursday, we have a live class here about how to ask questions in English. So I'm going to review all the ways how to ask questions, answer those questions that everybody has. Quando eu uso o auxiliar, quando eu não uso o auxiliar, onde eu meto esse verbo, como é que eu faço, né? E quando eu uso did, o que eu faço com o verbo? Então eu vou estar respondendo todas essas perguntas na aula de quinta-feira, não percam. Semana que vem no Gladly Receives, a gente vai receber outra amiga minha, que é uma pessoa maravilhosa, a Luísa. A Luísa, ela trabalhou, acho que trabalha ainda, não tenho certeza, há muito tempo no Instituto Elos, que é outra ONG aqui, né, na Baixada Santista, que faz um trabalho voluntário, um trabalho social maravilhoso, mas a gente vai falar, não vai ser sobre isso, provavelmente vai acabar até mencionando, mas a Luísa é uma pessoa que ela já viajou para vários lugares do Brasil, várias cidades do mundo, de mochila, sozinha, com gente, low budget, e ela vai vir aqui para contar algumas das histórias dela, e ela vai vir aqui para dar dicas para quem quer viajar também, e low budget, e ela já passou perrengue por causa de língua, então ela vai contar algumas histórias assim, e vai ser na terça que vem, às 7h30 da noite. E se você ainda não curtiu esse vídeo, galera, por favor, curte o vídeo, porque assim o YouTube entende que é legal, que é relevante, e ele vai mostrar esse vídeo para outras pessoas. Se você ainda não se inscreveu, se inscreve, porque nós já somos 1.072 pessoas inscritas aqui no canal. E eu quero chegar no 1 milhão logo, porque o Felipe Neto tá morrendo de medo da minha ascensão. Que já faz quase 2 meses que eu tô aqui nesse canal do YouTube, e o único youtuber que eu conheço, que eu sei o nome, continua sendo o Felipe Neto. Eu juro que o dia que eu conhecer outro, que eu aprender o nome de outro, eu faço a piada com o outro, mas por enquanto vai continuar sendo o Felipe Neto. Certo?
Beleza, ok.
Meninos,
obrigada pelo convite, viu?
Vocês.
A gente estava muito nervoso aqui, mas a gente conseguiu, né, Gui? Né, Du?
Olha, eu tô
Sérgio, mais cara de pau é o
impressionada
Sérgio.
como os meninos estão falando bem inglês. A comadre também tá bem fluente, comadre. Tô feliz de ver. O compadre eu achei meia boca.
Ele é sempre mais ou menos.
Tá
Queria
bom?
agradecer todo o pessoal que participou, essas pessoas que estão com a gente desde o começo, desde antes de ser Grupo Aurora, todo mundo que foi se juntando a nós, aqueles que virão, né, que entendam que, assim, nós somos um grupo unidos pelo amor, assim como é a adoção, né, nós somos sem julgamentos. Você faz mais ou menos, não interessa, né, assim, o importante é fazer, é ajudar, é se colocar no lugar do outro mesmo, sabe, assim, se fosse meu filho na rua, eu ia querer receber um ovo de Páscoa, eu ia querer receber um sapato novo, velho, não interessa,
Sim.
né, assim, é cada um exercer a sua empatia, realmente, né, e um modo de agradecer a Deus, tudo que ele deu pra gente, pelo menos, é a gente poder fazer um pouquinho pro próximo.
Com certeza, com certeza. Gente, então assim, eu queria agradecer não só por estar aqui, por ter aceito o convite, né, ter trazido os meninos, eu queria agradecer vocês por tudo, cara, por tudo que vocês fazem, por, né, por cara, por, sei lá, por estarem no mundo, por estarem no meu mundo, por, por terem aceito a mim e a minha filha para participar do mundo de vocês também, né? E pode ter certeza, assim, que se a gente tivesse mais famílias Fortunas, o mundo hoje estaria muito, muito melhor. Então, que tenha mais e que vocês continuem inspirando cada vez mais gente e que essa sementinha que a Osana plantou em vocês e que deu essas flores tão lindas e que vocês plantaram em tantas pessoas, plantaram em mim, né? Porque assim, eu vim por conta de vocês, um dia vocês me chamaram e você pode ir lá tirar umas fotos, não sei o que lá, tal do Grupo Aurora, vou, nem sei quem é o Grupo Aurora, mas vou, né? Assim, e com isso também já trouxe outras pessoas e assim a gente vai crescendo cada vez mais, né? Então, agradecer por tudo que vocês fizeram, por mim, por vocês, né? Por trazer esses dois lindos que estão aí, que eu amo de paixão. Gui, precisa lavar, tem uma sujeira aqui, ó. Aí embaixo. Mas, cara, quando eu vi a foto do Gui de barba e bigode, eu falei, meu Deus do céu, barba e bigode, esse Guilherme não dá. Mas vocês estão muito lindos, parabéns.
É só eles que estão envelhecendo, né, Yara? A gente
só eles. Não tem. Né, eu falei hoje com a Fê, né? A gente falou, né, Fê? Falei, gente, como assim, né? O Gui já tem 19 anos, o Dudu tem 14, 15 mais ou menos. Falei, não, é muita coisa. Era um toquinho outro dia. Era só uma cabeça, né, Dudu? Outro dia. Tá certo? Gente, obrigada pelo tempo de vocês aqui. Amei. Quando vocês quiserem voltar, é só me avisar e a gente conversa mais, bate mais papo. E, galera, de novo, uma última vez, se alguém quiser saber mais sobre o Grupo Aurora, ou quiser entrar em contato com a Elaine, com o Sérgio, que precisar de ajuda com a adoção, ou quiser ajudar, ou precisar de ajuda, entre em contato com a gente pelo Grupo Aurora. Procura a gente lá no Facebook, é facebook.gr.aurora, e no Instagram é Grupo Aurora, _ 2007, se não me engano. Alguma coisa assim, tá? Mas aqui na descrição desse vídeo tem. No Instagram da Milito English também tem. Várias maneiras que vocês podem entrar em contato com a gente, ok? Agradeço demais todo mundo que ficou aí com a gente, assistiu. E a vocês,